Joachim Paul, die ausgeschlossene Bürgermeisterkandidat von Ludwigshafen, und Beatrix von Storch sind zum Weißen Haus eingeladen worden. Beide AfD-Mitglieder, und die haben mit der State Department gesprochen. Und weißt du, all die deutschen Leute, die sich so empören über Trump und seine Regierung oder J.D. Vance oder Elon Musk, ihr sollt vielleicht da nochmal über nachdenken, weil diese Leute kämpfen härter für euer Land und eure Freiheit dann euch selbst, dann eure Regierung, dann die scheiß Politiker, die wir im Amt haben, dann alle zusammen. Die in Amerika kämpfen härter für Deutschland, als die Deutschen das tun. Also ich will nichts weiteres hören über wie schlecht Trump ist. Alright? So yeah, I don't agree with, I'm a Trump guy 100%. He's, again, I say it all the time. He's the best president I've ever seen in my life, okay? Now I get it, the bar isn't very high. All of the other presidents were absolute shit. Basically, I mean, in my lifetime I'm talking about. And Trump has been the best so far, even though there are a few things that he does that I don't necessarily agree with. But I'm willing to overlook all that stuff because he and his administration is fighting harder for the country I live in than the people that were born here. So I'm pretty much gonna kind of put my hopes in the Trump camp that Trump will be able to kind of squash the tyranny that's being attempted by the established politicians in this country. And they're doing just that. First of all, they're fighting the EU on their new censorship Digital Services Act bullshit, and they're threatening them that the tariff deal will get worse for them if they continue with the DSA, which is basically a repression tool that they want to slam down on the public in Europe to silence them and make them shut up and not talk about reality, so that these leftist establishment fuckers stay in power forever by gaslighting the public into believing the shit that they say, by doing that through their propaganda stream, the mainstream and state propaganda media. And the Trump administration is not having it. Now, I'm sure they have their own reasons that they will benefit in some way from going against the European censorship regime. But I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care why they're doing it. I care that they're doing it. Right? And the same thing counts for the AfD here in Germany. The German establishment wants to kill the AfD politically, right? Probably literally too, but I haven't heard anybody do it yet, so say that yet. But politically, for sure, they want to weaponize the law against the AfD, like they did in Ludwigshafen, to basically exclude a mayoral candidate from the election on baseless grounds, right? It was just totally fabricated nonsense that they used to exclude this guy from the election in Ludwigshafen. And of course, no Germans on the streets rioting or going crazy about, hey, what the fuck? How are you guys going to take away a candidate for us to vote on? This is supposed to be a democracy. Nope, silence, crickets. I didn't hear shit. Instead, thank God, the Trump administration is there to fight for you guys. How's that? Because maybe this visit to the White House, well, the State Department in America, maybe this visit to the State Department will kind of, nudge the judge that is going over Joachim Paul's case to be let back into the mayoral race. Maybe he'll think twice about going along with the corrupt courts that decided against him the first time, right? Or she, I don't know if it's a he or a she judge, but maybe the judge will, kind of think, if America's so, obsessed about keeping freedom of speech and freedom of democracy alive in other countries like Germany, maybe we shouldn't really temper tantrum against that so much. Because one thing I'm telling you is the reason why Beatrix von Storch and Joachim Paul were invited to talk to the State Department people is because that is Trump's way of sending a message to the German establishment that says, guys, Big Daddy is watching you. all right? Like Santa Claus. We know when you're naughty, we know when you're nice, all right? And we don't like this fucking censorship shit. We don't like that you're trying to exclude a perfectly legitimate conservative candidate out of the race in your country and then proclaiming to the world that you are this wonderful bastion of democracy. That's what he's telling him. He's telling him, don't keep this shit up. And let me tell you, Friedrich Merz, right? The European Union might be a little tougher not to crack for them, but they will. But Friedrich Merz is like a soft egg, right? You just squash that shit. So Friedrich Merz can't say shit. That's why he hasn't said shit, right? And look, even if not, let's pretend, let's just take a minute and assume nothing really happens. Let's assume that Joachim Powell still is excluded from the mayoral race, which will only further anger the Trump administration. I can tell you that right now. Because like I said, they're basically sending a message saying, look, stop this bullshit before it gets to be serious. Because Trump said he is willing to use tariffs, so his economic power and military power, in order to guarantee freedom of speech, and the democratic process around the world. So they're not fucking playing. And thank God they're not, because obviously if we leave it up to the Germans, they're going to keep voting for the CDU like y'all fuckers did in NRV last weekend. Instead of finally getting your shit together and making a change for the area you live in. And let me tell you, NRV is a shithole. I drive there every day. You know what I mean? It's not fucking pretty. It's got lots of problems. Infrastructure problems, immigration problems, nasty city problems, dirty problems, crime problems. So please, you people in NRV should know better. Instead, you're going to keep voting for the same people that created the problem in the first place. So I guess we're lucky that Donald Trump is, and his administration is taking up the mantle of trying to save the country I live in, which is Germany. So I want to, like I said, I'm willing to overlook a lot of bad shit that Trump does if they really stick to this and help save us, right? Because obviously the German people aren't really willing to do it. And we'll see in the national elections, we'll see. But if I see the reaction to Joachim Powell being excluded from the race in Ludwigshafen, which was basically nothing, right? Then I'm like, yo, man, that's pretty hopeless, yo. You know what I mean? And then I watched the Germans in NRV vote for the same fuckers that created all these problems in the first place again. Then kind of my hope gets lost. But then I today hear that America is going to involve themselves in this issue of democracy. And normally I'm not one for America to butt its nose in all over the place and try to overthrow governments and all this shit. I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the main reasons why people, other countries hate America. However, in this case, it's a little different because Germany is dependent on America. So that means America gets to call the shots, right? If America pays all the military bills and shows up to protect your ass when you talk big stupid shit to Russia and whatever, then basically America's the boss. They're Big Daddy. And the German politicians just have to learn to live with that unless they're capable of making themselves self-sufficient, which I don't see happening. Okay? It's not happening. These people are incapable of doing anything. They're fucking morons. They can't do shit. All right? So instead of these people, I hear a lot of German people ragging on Trump and, Trump is fascist and blah, and J.D. Vance and Elon Musk. And I just want to remind you people, like I did at the beginning of this video, that Trump, J.D. Vance, Trump's administration, and Elon Musk, you couldn't wish. There's no people on earth that you would rather have on your side, fighting on your side as German citizens. So no more negative shit about those people, because they're doing your job for you. And you better be glad that they are, because it might save us from having to become involved in a violent situation in order to save our freedoms. Because without them, these government officials that we have here in Germany and in Europe, they would keep pushing the public further and further and further into a corner until there is no way out. except for violence. And nobody wants to get there. And so thank God for fucking Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and the likes of them for stepping in, using their power, which they definitely have. We don't have much power as citizens. We really don't. Especially when they try to take away our vote, right? That's all basically all we got. Now, Germany voted the wrong way last time. Now we got this problem that we have Friedrich Merz, a ballless, eunuch fucking pussy, as a chancellor who can't get shit done. And basically we're still captured by the left. Politically. That's crazy. That's crazy. Everybody voted for conservative right-wing politics, and we get a left-wing government. So people have had it. So what other recourse do people have aside from becoming apathetic and just going, well, there's nothing we can do. Let's just be subjugated like bitches and slaves, right? Or fight back. And if necessary, fight back violently. If you get attacked violently, you have to fight back violently. It's just the way it is. There's no other way. And so thank fucking God that America is stepping in here and gonna try to at least push these politicians back into reason, whether it be through trying to coerce them or by forcing them. I don't give a shit. But America and the Trump administration and Elon Musk and them are not about to stand by and watch all of these so-called democracies get turned into these authoritarian, green, leftist, fucking communist hellholes, right? They're just not going to do it. So we're very lucky to have them on our side, and I would appreciate a little bit more decorum for them from those Germans out there that are talking shit about these people, not even knowing anything about them, just based on what they hear from the propaganda media in this country. That's unacceptable. So yeah, so Joachim Powell, Beatrix von Storch, both at the State Department. Now, you know what? I was going to say this earlier, but I got sidetracked. So even if nothing happens, right, it's glorious to know that the Green Party, the SPD, the CDU politicians, oh, they must have been so fucking mad when they saw that Joachim Paul and fucking Beatrix von Storch from the fascist AfD were invited to the White House. It's, oh my God, they're fucking tripped. I know they're tripped. That's why nobody's saying anything about it, right? They're not saying shit. They're not saying shit. You know why? Because they know that everybody else loves it that they were invited. They know they're in the minority up there in their ivory tower. That's why we haven't heard anything from the politicians about Elon Musk comments at the giant protest led by Tommy Robinson in England last weekend. Oh, Elon Musk said for some big words for these poor whiny leftists. So they get offended real quick. So what Elon Musk said, ooh, that really offended these fucking globalist pricks. But I haven't heard anybody talk about it. You know why? Because they know they're losing. And they know that anything that they say is just going to further piss off the public that is tired of them. We're all tired of them. You know what I mean? We're all tired of them. It's just some people, like the people in NRV, I guess still need more evidence that their country is being ripped out from beneath them by the very people that are supposed to protect it. Right? I guess they need more pain. More suffering. So I hope they get what they voted for. So guys, it's amazing. This has never happened before, that America has actually involved themselves in another country in order to protect that country's citizens, right? There's always been some other motive, oil, regime change, etc. This is the first time that one Western country has ever involved themselves in the politics and the home situations of another Western country and said, okay guys, what you guys are doing is not acceptable. And we're going to use all the power we have to make it stop. And we can be very grateful here in Germany that they are. Because they may be able to get us out of this shithole. They may be able to get it so far that if the Germans make the right decision in 2029, or please, a little earlier, right? A lot earlier if possible. If you guys make the right decision and vote the AfD in, the United States government might have been able to do some things to help make that happen. And so, like I said, you can't have a more powerful force on your side. So, God, please take advantage of it. Don't let this opportunity go to waste, Germany. You've got the most powerful government in the world on your side as citizens for the first time in history. Please fucking make use of it. Stand up. You've got cover from America. You know what I'm saying? From the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, and the richest guy in the fucking world, Elon Musk. So, goddamn, if you don't have the balls to stand up now, you never will. And it's over for you. Stand up now while you've got these people holding your back. That seems to me like the obvious thing, right? Seems to me like the obvious thing. So go with it, people. Go at it. Stand up. Fight back. Get your country back. Vote for the people that will do their best to actually get the country back in a political, democratic fashion. And that's the AfD for Germany. There is no other choice. And thank God for Donald Trump's administration for backing up the AfD. They deserve it more than anyone else. And the German people now need to stand up while they've got this opportunity. That's all I got for you guys today. Take it easy.